The Game Theorists and Five Nights at Freddy's are inseparably linked, like a parasitic relationship, but they're both the parasite. Me and my friends, who all met in a FNaF forum years ago, have strong opinions, and I feel like I need some place to vent my game theory opinions so they don't seep into my other videos. So we decided to rank every single FNaF game theory episode on a tier list. In this video, we'll look at the first 5, and if you guys like this video, say, if it gets to 100 likes, we'll do a part 2. And please, if you do enjoy, consider subscribing. It'll help me out a ton.
Aren't you gonna go first?
Oh, my channel already knows me. I'm Spooksheeter.
How do you know that? It's me, Stephanie. I did some voices and incorrect FNaF codes. So that's pretty cool, and I'm She-Day.
I'm Ben. I'm a silly autistic British boy who cares way too much about the scary bear game, and I go by he, him.
I'm gonna cut out your last name.
This something funny.
Hi, I'm Ben. I'm the dangerous wildcard 9. The official, unofficial Funtime Freddy voice. Hello, they, them, or like whatever.
We got started with the classic first video, where MatPat explains the lore of the first game very briefly, then recounts a real-life murder that took place in 1993, which he believes the game was an allegory for, which gives the video a strange aura of being iconic, nostalgic, and very poorly aged. It's always weird going back to this and knowing that this is the first bit he did. Like, it doesn't feel... This doesn't feel like the proper start to the relationship between MatPat and FNaF, but this is where it begins.
It is.
I'm not even talking about the real-life murder part, I'm talking about the MatPat Flays bit where he just makes fun of the YouTubers that play FNaF.
Well, you know, he was young back then. He didn't realize this would basically become his career.
Yeah, like, how ridiculous would it be to make your entire YouTube career centered around FNaF?
Few jump scares from creatures that, aren't that scary? People overreacting to it on YouTube?
Someone clearly never went to Chuck E. Cheese as a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think... I wonder if Scott actually did. Like, I know a lot of people just assume he did, but it'd be really funny if he's, like, Scott's never been.
Oh, by the way, he never made the Slender video. It's been, what, like, 8 or 9 years since this poll, almost? I want to know what MatPat has to say about the original Slender.
Slender died for Golden Freddy's sins.
I was about to say, like, one of them became a hit franchise, the other became irrelevant. Of course he didn't make it.
Yeah, but Slender still somehow got a movie first.
And it was terrible.
Well, we don't talk
about
intriguing. You're the new night guard watching the security cameras at a Chuck E. Cheese-style restaurant called Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. 4 animatronics roam the halls at night because the owners don't want
these
their
cute little visuals.
Bad news is,
Yeah.
I do actually love, I do love the little chibi animatronics, right?
These are truly iconic.
Ow! Show them those circuits! Apparently, one of them did someone
incredibly unfunny. This video obviously has a special place in FNaF history, and it became really fun to analyze. We spent about 10 minutes just trying to read the theory forums that he scrolled past for background footage. As a video editing connoisseur/nerd, I had a blast with this one.
News clippings appear and disappear, telling the dark secrets.
I bet you've looked at those newspapers enough to be sick.
Oh yeah, I have them.
You wanna share the context of your relationship with these newspapers, Spook?
No, but I will pause and read these. The investigation continues. Investigation of the recent disappearance of 5 children of photo speak as well, working as hard as possible to bring the children home safe and to bring whoever is responsible to justice, said Gussie Brown, local chief of...
What?
Best FNaF character.
Gussie Brown.
Yeah.
Gussie Brown. Can we...
I also love the misspelling.
Where's my elaborate, like, spin-off sequel?
Yeah,
how... recycled all the same characters with Gussie Brown.
How many people do you think have actually read this, that have seen this video? This video has, what, like, 50 billion views? By the way, this is backwards. You can see the advertisements on this page are backwards.
Oh my god, the E!
And all of the rest of them are in German. So...
FNaF set in Germany.
December 1993,
Here we
Aurora,
go.
Colorado. 10 p.m.
Ah,
Tuesday
yes.
night at a local Chuck E. Cheese.
Thing is, for the
Bobby
time this
Stevens
came out, I
forced
did
to
genuinely
stay
think this was
Yeah.
quite
shop, But as
interesting.
Margaret
Here, I'm gonna
values seats
like
in the
skip
back,
forward past
Bobby
this since I don't think we're
scrubs
gonna have
down
much to say.
facts. First,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think that there's any
Yeah,
doubt that
this is
Freddy
this is
prepared for
ironically a
Chuck E.
very
Cheese.
law
From the
light
scene
first
animatronics
episode.
to each night you're working a 6-hour shift.
Mike
and
Schmidt.
you're spending
Yeah,
5 nights
Useless
there. So
nobody.
that's
This is
30 hours of
truly an
total work
iconic
time for
visual.
$120.
Oh,
Yeah,
truly.
yeah.
Total $4
Yeah.
an hour.
Like, the
How
amount of
did they
times
do
that
that?
it's been
That's below minimum
reused and
wage
shared
for
around.
2014.
Mhm.
But in
I'm pretty sure if you like
1990,
look
was
up
$3.80.
minimum wage in
1991, it was raised
in
to
Utah or something,
$4.25.
like
And by
I vaguely recall this
1996, you were
popping up
looking
or
at about
something.
$5 an
Yeah,
hour.
Yeah.
that's how people know. It's like
Games take place
teachers in history class will
1991
use
and
Five Nights at
1996.
Freddy's.
The Nathan Dunlap
Yeah.
story
What do you
took place in
know?
as though someone's trying to cling to the
I will say his
threads of their
explanation as to
lives
why the
stuffed
children are stuffed in the
inside
suits is pretty
costumes.
adequate.
And other sounds made by the
Well, yeah,
animatronics
this
are
is like,
just
you know,
slowed-down
FNAF
versions of
101.
children's
Yeah,
It's
this
hard
is-
to get this stuff wrong.
This is very
Additionally,
easy
as
to
the news
prove.
clipping mentions, the
Yeah.
suits
Yeah.
ooze
Oh,
blood and
oh,
mucus.
Wait, they removed the typos. They spelled pizzeria
You
correctly.
can't do that.
They didn't remove the hyphen after Freddy Fazbear's.
They also that one that previous one, restaurant, was spelled incorrectly. So there are still some
that was,
typos.
Oh
that
yeah.
was a bit atrocious.
Yeah, mucus.
That's why we love it.
So 5 victims, 5 suits. Seems like a slam dunk, but nowhere does it say that all 5
I
were
wouldn't say
murdered,
slam
only that
dunk.
they went
He probably
missing
just stuffed them in the suits. He didn't
found.
slam
Also,
dunk
the
Come
them.
on and slam, and welcome to the jam.
I mean,
Yeah,
Purple
so
Guy-
Laura's the one who balls, not Purple Guy.
Purple Guy does seem like he'd be good at basketball, but I just imagine him like slam dunking Cassidy's body.
I mean, would he like William was like fat, and then he was thin, and then he was emaciated.
He had to get in shape.
There's one section in this video where MatPat tries to draw parallels between each of the 5 real-life victims and FNAF 1 animatronics, and everyone can kinda agree this part feels insensitive, and the arguments are so weak that they ruin his overall point.
We just covered Golden Freddy and Bobby, but the rest have strange parallels too. Bonnie goes into the utility closet filled with floor cleaning supplies, the most prominent ones being a mop and a broom. It's probably one of the most random rooms
Really?
in the game, until you consider that Ben...
Does the pizzeria not need a utilities closet?
Yeah.
That is important.
This is like the part where I think that his argument completely breaks down because, like, he doesn't need to specifically
Bullshit.
compare. He doesn't need to compare the victims to animatronics 1-to-1. I think that it really weakens his argument, especially since he's really bad at doing it.
Chica walks past the bathroom and is associated with food. And Freddy,
God, I would hate to
doesn't
have
that
people
strong
tell me that I'm
parallel with
associated with
Colleen,
food.
but he does appear in the girls' restroom. Odd for what we would assume
Oh,
is
God.
a male animatronic. Maybe
That's
it's
so
a reference
dark.
to Colleen being a ring with the animatronics, being unprofessional.
I don't think those are the
Maybe
reasons
weird
Nathan was
robot
fired.
that caused the infamous bite of 87. Regardless, like Nate,
Yeah.
No, Plasma Entertainment are cool with murder.
It's also why you're only at the pizzeria from midnight to 6 a.m. every night. It's a nightmare. It's in your sleep.
Or it's a night shift.
Wow.
Does
It's
Matt-
not that deep.
Does MatPat only sleep from midnight to 6 a.m. every night?
It's also a place you can't escape from. Find yourself
Considering some of the things he says,
night,
big
even after you
deprivation,
complete
you
your
know,
5 nights
could be
at
a
sea,
good
that
explanation.
week led to your capture in the
Say, that
first
Mike
place.
Schmidt fellow sure reminds me of that Fritz Smith fellow from years back.
Just a theory. A game.
So yeah, I think what does the fox say is a good place to.
Oh yes, another thing that aged beautifully.
That's
This episode's subject matter sticks out like a sore thumb, but the editing and writing are pretty solid, so I still ended up ranking it pretty highly, especially considering what would come later. What do you guys think of this video?
He's very good at spinning a compelling narrative.
Yes, narrative-wise, this rocks. Theory-wise, this is probably one of the worst.
In my opinion, the point of game theory, the idea is that, like, you click on a video about Wario farts and you come out with an understanding of Newtonian physics. Like, that is a valid approach to a game theory about FNAF. It's not a good FNAF theory, but it's a great game theory. Like,
Yeah.
Good point.
so...
Well, yeah.
I mean, this
Yeah,
is a
history-based
history-based one, you know?
yeah,
Yeah, this is lore-based. This is
even
kind
though-
of story-based.
It's lore, but real life lore.
The editing of this video, I think, is pretty good. It's really atmospheric, and I miss when FNaF videos had this sort of atmosphere. I think only the first two really did.
I'd argue 3 and 4 keep some of
What
that,
caught
but
me
you
off
know.
guard, like, while we were watching this is just how well the audio is.
Yeah.
The audio is really well done.
If you don't know that the music is from Paper Mario, then it's really scary.
Even knowing that's from Paper Mario, I was like, I have to play Paper Mario.
You know, as a kid, like a 10-year-old kid watching this with the lights off, yeah, absolutely, the atmosphere is perfect. Overall, I think I would rank this one like a B tier, maybe like either high B or low A.
This is probably like the best time he explains the plot of FNaF 1. You flash forward to 2018 and he forgets that it's a game.
Yeah, that's true. He, like, barely ever covers it after this.
And with that, we're able to move on to part 2. This is one of the Scott-approved ones, so...
Yeah, this is when MatPat really starts hitting his stride.
Yeah.
The beginning of the peak era.
All of them sequels that just so happen to
This
What?
this prequel-sequel distinction makes no sense, by the way.
No Little Mermaid 3.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? A prequel-sequel is just a... That's just a prequel.
That's just a prequel.
Oh, I can't believe it was ever a debate. Like, just look at the paycheck. There, done. Debate over.
Yeah.
Since 1987.
What's funny about this is current modern day MatPat would absolutely make a theory about how Phone Guy is a robot or immortal.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Or just faked his death, honestly. Like I have the
That even existed.
I have the headcanon that Phone Guy faked his death in FNaF 1, went into witness protection, and then came back 30 years later to knowingly play the tapes of his own voice for the FNaF 3 guard so that the FNaF 3 guard could figure out what Springtrap was.
I like to think that Phone Dude is his illegitimate son.
Yeah, or that.
Or him. Or just him.
Yeah.
Phoned.
It's just like him in a mustache. But like, Phone Dude sounds way younger, but he'd have to be like 60 years old in order to be a phone guy.
Because he's got
Like
that good...
16-year-old phone guy pulling up. Hey, yo, what's up, bruh? I found this like totally rad shit.
Smoke some Remnant. Ages me right down.
Smoke some Remnant.
Hell yeah. That's magic.
How dare he defile
Gravity
Gravity
Falls.
Falls? Oh god, I remember when the Zelda timeline was like gaming shorthand for a really complicated timeline, and then fucking like FNaF came out and just fucking blew it out of the water.
Hold my beer.
And then people started actually paying attention to the Kirby lore and were like, wait a minute, this is way worse than FNaF.
I would,
Crazy.
you know, I would talk about you know, Zelda's still worse because it has split timelines, but I can't even say that anymore.
Foxy Go-Go.
Yeah.
This is my newspaper. this is to me. It's like, this is my demon of the FNaF lore.
So he's explaining why the puppet is possessed by the Take Cake Kid, and I think he honestly does like a pretty good job of that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's right.
Yeah.
He ended up being correct.
Yeah, he's correct.
He also just calls himself out on that too, so...
senselessly murdered and left to haunt a crappy pizza place for the rest of my life in the body of an awful-looking clown doll, I'd want to get my revenge.
I'd like to pause on that. I'd like to pause on that one because out of context, it's so funny.
Our interpretation of the puppet has become much different.
Just out of context, it looks like those bullet points are about MatPat.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, I didn't even make that connection. Just
Wait, go back to all 4 bullet points being on screen.
yeah. Oh my god, there we go. Senselessly murdered, crappy. I just replace gross clown kid with gross theater kid, and you got MatPat.
No, look at him. He's a clown.
Routine.
The one that has yet to appear in a game.
Yeah, about that, Matt.
Uses a Golden Freddy suit.
Well, you know, back then it was justified in the context.
You said you weren't going to use it, and so I did.
Oh, good grief.
I did The sex offender database!
Oh yeah, the sex. Oh my god!
Yeah, I
forgot the
don't
sex
think that's
offender line.
quite.
The toy animatronics, also known as the sex defenders.
Sex defenders.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh my god.
But yeah,
Who Chica fucks?
I like to think that Phasma Entertainment, when they were showing around their security systems, they talked about sex offenders, and William was reading the newspaper. He's like, "Excuse me."
it's weird for him to be like, man, it's kind of weird when you think about it that a pizza restaurant would want something like this until you consider there's been murders there. I don't think anyone was lost on that, Matt.
Yeah, please explain to me, Matt. Why would they want that?
Yeah. MatPat does a decent job of explaining the popular belief at the time regarding the timeline of events, the identity of the puppet, and the reasons for the toy animatronic's existence, but there's a rather infamous section of this video that had disastrous consequences for the community, wherein MatPat argues that the purple guy is the phone guy.
Based on what Phone Guy says, it seems like the guilty party was the former night guard.
Yeah,
The
it
the
does.
return of.
one you're
Yeah.
It does. It is.
Nobody's lost.
Yeah, I like how it was so obvious that the purple guy was the day shift guard.
Yeah, no wonder this one got the Scott seal of approval. He offers like no controversial opinions.
Foxy the pirate was always his favorite, and that he has never liked the puppet because, as he says, it was old.
Okay, so here's why what he's saying sucks. First of all, the puppet, he's uncomfortable with the puppet for the same reason that MatPat is uncomfortable with the puppet, and I don't think that MatPat is a murderer yet, but, like...
He called himself out!
Yeah, like, he literally called the puppet creepy earlier, and then it was like, oh, what, the phone guy finds the puppet creepy? Is he stupid? Like... And second of all, I hate this, like, oh, the purple guy, like, Foxy, because he's smiling during Foxy Go. He's literally wearing the exact same smile in the Take Cake minigame.
He's always smiling, except for FNaF.
I'm betting...
FNaF 3.
I'm betting the connective thread between all the instances of him smiling is child murder, not Foxy. He's smiling because he's committing child murder.
But Spook in the frickin' Take Cake minigame, the smile isn't as easy to see because of the line, so clearly it was intended to be more visible with Foxy Go-Go.
Clearly.
He didn't find it that funny at the time, you know?
He didn't find it that...
He only found it was like mildly amusing.
We can tell it was back then because he
Only
didn't find
then.
child murder as amusing.
Oh, hell yeah, this rules.
Yeah, he was going through the divorce at the time. What's he going? He only got a wee smile out of him.
So this phone, what do you guys think it actually is? Like a banana or...
Dildo.
Company issued taser.
Sonic screwdriver.
I always just thought it was his hand being silly or something,
That's-
but I thought it was a banana.
My serious answer is a crank, but
Yeah.
it could be Scott's
Well-
really bad impression of a hand.
Here's the thing, I don't think that a spring-lock crank would stop Freddy. I agree with 9 that it's a taser.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's true.
Like, cause it literally, since Sister Location, like, every game has had a mechanic that emphasizes that tasers stop animatronics, so...
Controlled
Oh,
shot.
Yeah, that's a point.
This one... A tier for me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's
Like,
definitely
I
above.
mean-
It's a great one.
If, like, the whole, like, is the purple man the phone guy thing, that takes up about, like, a third of the theory section of the video, which is way too much considering how blatantly wrong it is. Like, it is unforgivably wrong, but, he does give a pretty good explanation of most things, and it has the Scott stamp of approval, so...
Yeah.
I wouldn't dock too many points from a figure skater if she, tripped and face planted and knocked out all her teeth in the last 5 seconds.
This video was well written, and it covered a lot of the basic points pretty thoroughly, and in a way that was generally good at settling debates. But it definitely falls short of perfection, and when most people think of it, they think of all the parts that aren't the purple guy phone guy bit, and if you ignore that, then it's an instant classic in S tier. Now, on to MatPat's coverage of FNaF 3, which got split into 2, and then into 3 parts.
Oh no! Oh no!
I forgot about this,
cringe.
no!
It's cringe, but it's so
No.
funny.
No!
Yes.
No!
I like it. Come on, I've got a soft spot for this one.
I'm so unnerved.
Ah, you goofy little theater kid, you.
Oh my god. Why is he barefoot? That makes it worse.
You let the dogs breathe. Let the dogs breathe, you know?
Ah!
Ah!
He just opens his mouth and goes, ah!
Well, that's what the animatronics do, so no, it's accurate.
It would have been a lot funnier if Steph just opened the door and was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
She would actually say that. That's what I like about Steph.
Oh, right, his Steph. Okay.
Yeah.
Steph, not you, Steph.
My favourite game, my favourite era of theorising. Yeah, this was a good time to be a FNaF fan.
Oh, pointy hand! Oh yeah, I love pointy hand! Woo! This video arguably attempts to tackle too many topics. It becomes clear that MatPat's timeline videos are more like a string of mini-theories held together by a loose chronology using the already established canon. And if you judge all of those mini-theories individually, you will get mixed results, as we did here.
Dan doesn't, plan his story in plot beats. He plans it in
Alright,
colours.
so we got a good game plan for this video. What's the timeline of these games? What's up with Golden Freddy? What suit does the killer use? What's the deal with the shadow animatronics? What about the random naked endoskeleton? What happened to the Bite of 87? Who is the purple guy? And why is anyone doing a movie about these games?
Oh,
Well,
hey.
we can like check his responses to
Yeah.
7 of those questions, and we have to wait for the 8th one. Obviously, what's the deal with the shadow animatronics?
Yeah. 5-minute intro, by the way. That's the main
I
problem
mean, at
with
least
this
it's not a
video.
merch plug.
Yeah,
It
it's
gets worse.
also
Ah!
uncredited fan art.
Yeah, come on, man.
That's definitely the primary.
Did no one learn from Smike?
Yes.
Is this not the? I think this was before Smike actually. But is this not the man who like confidently went on stream and said, "I've never looked at porn"?
Yeah, he just makes his editors do it. Oh my god. Just,
Hey, look, it's the page again!
hey! But yeah,
Return
just
of the page.
stop talking. Get to the lore.
What? Spook!
Hey.
Runtime!
Yeah.
This is a 2-part theory, but he had like
Just be grateful he's not trying to sell you socks. That comes later.
Oh,
Look
yeah.
at my special ARG backpack.
The jump scare that always follows this minigame, combined with the tier design on both the dead child and the
There's a
puppet's
tier
mask,
design on like every dead child.
Yeah.
Every dead
I
child.
guess that was like the first one,
The event
though.
caused the original
Well,
immersive-
Like,
no,
in-
even like.
well in FNAF 2 I think it was the only one with
Yes.
that, but then in FNAF 3
But then FNAF
we
3,
got the follow me
Then-
game.
Then it became standard for like every other one, yeah.
And then in FNAF 4, we got a living kid who did nothing but cry.
Unfortunately, I had to cut a rant I made that lasted about 7 minutes when Matt asserted that Take Cake had to be first because the purple guy hadn't yet developed their signature style of dressing up as a mascot and luring kids to the back room. My counter can be summarized in 3 points. 1. Save Them is also a counter to this, and no one is arguing that that is before the MCI. 2. William really only does this once. And 3. If one were to argue Take Cake were after the MCI, they could easily point to the fact that ex-employees aren't allowed into the building, a line which MatPat later obsesses over. If it seems like I'm coming off a white-hot rage for the rest of this video, that is why.
Right now we have 2 specially designed suits.
Pointy hand, I love you.
Pointy hand.
Beloved.
Oh, God.
That's an interesting.
What?
So people yellow.
Piss Freddy, Piss Freddy.
Piss Freddy and Piss Bonnie.
Where else in the game do we see Bonnie and Freddy
Oh,
sharing
memories.
a unique feature that no one else in the game possesses? Shadow Freddy and Shadow Bonnie.
Shadow employees.
Reasonable conclusion.
Paranormal.
Yeah.
Still better than agony.
Actually, Shadow
True.
Shadow Bonnie is
So
tied
true.
to
Oh,
the
gosh.
employees who
But do we
died.
know they're
Yes.
employees, though?
Get this, the employees'
No.
bodies were
No.
taken out of the suits,
Well,
which
now
is
I
why their
guess.
appearance.
I have found Shadow Bonnie
Like-
being an employee is still kind of reasonable to me.
This section is so weird because like MatPat tries to argue that the shadows are ghosts, that they're tied to Fredbear and Spring Bonnie,
Spring Bonnie.
and that they're employees, all at the same time, as if those three things are all one conclusion, and he sort of switches back and forth between evidence for them, like he's just, providing all the evidence for one conclusion, but they're really not.
Yeah. Also, I'm just going to go, I don't care how many people I piss off, there are no definitive rules of possession at any point in the series, just vague suggestions that change from whatever the plot demands.
Especially for the bite victim, like, there's no rules for that kid.
Oh, yeah.
It's not an alternate purple guy costume like many believe, it's an apparition.
How many people believed that?
Someone would apparate eventually.
The ultimate purple guy? I remember it got very popular due to a Rabonica comic.
Oh god.
She believed in it, but no, it was a kind of trash theory from day one that was quickly abandoned. I think.
Also, who did they get this footage from that was like... Actually, wait, this is bright too. Why is this section of the video so goddamn bright?
Matt Pat remembered the brightness button.
Who color graded this?
Wait until we get to stage 01 and we lose the green balloons.
Oh god.
Or no, happiest day, I mean.
Yeah. Oh god, this fucking image
Oh,
of Purple
that's
Guy.
right. I've seen that before. Why?
I like that he looks like a transformer. With
Why is he so snatched?
Why,
His hips.
why is he so yoked?
His
That's
hips.
how it works.
Man is snatched.
He's a not Lego. What's the other one?
Duplo.
No.
He's the McFarlane Toys version.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
You heard that right. In trying to save the children, he's the one hiding them in the
Does kind of make Charlie seem like an idiot.
Yeah.
Is she
Yeah,
not
he
in
says
the game?
not-
She is a kid.
He says not the killer like we've been assuming, like this is new information. He literally said in the last video that the puppet stuffed the children. Why is he acting like, guys, I just found something crazy?
He forgets.
Is it unclear, maybe, to some people?
Can we acknowledge that Matt Pat does and will consistently say missing children's incident?
Missing children's incident.
You gotta bug up your ass about that one, don't you?
Oh.
Yeah, the missing children's. They did have an incident, you know.
Yeah, it is theirs.
It is there. It's theirs. No one else's. No one else. Can
I
have
mean,
it.
yeah,
Andrew,
it's about
Andrew,
them.
out.
It's their incident.
And Andrew, Sammy, Kelsey, get out of here.
We didn't really have any reaction to the end of the final part because the first part only felt like 5 minutes of content, so we decided to do a review of the whole 2-part, 3-part timeline after the whole thing was done, partially to save time.
Evil.
Part 2, first half.
The first half of part 2, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
this!
intro!
Honestly,
Ah.
this was a great addition to the series. I wish they still used this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss... God, I haven't seen this in forever.
Here's the thing.
Wait.
Here's the thing.
Registered.
If the Golden Freddy kid is stuck inside of a suit that's in suit mode and not in animatronic mode, then would that mean that, like, William just carefully stuffed her inside as to not trip any spring locks?
It's very considerate.
Or did he slam dunk her into the Fredbear suit? Which is it? Make up your mind.
So enough
Oh,
intro.
boy.
To the chase.
Yeah,
This
enough
literally
intro.
never
Off
been
with his
before.
head!
Murder done in Fazbear Pizza. Purple Guy had
God,
once
do you remember the
again-
era?
They fixed him up, what the hell?
Yeah. God, do you remember the era of Jeremy's purple guy, Fritz's purple guy? Like, that should have never have been.
Anyone's purple guy.
Like,
Yeah, but
purple guy.
but
Any more
purple-
purple
yeah.
guys I should know about?
Oh wait,
Mike is purple guy.
Did he already say the thing that bothers me? Yeah, the one thing that practically everyone overlooks in this location is that it gets reopened. As if it's just a thing that is, like, factually provable, but just everyone sort of forgets.
In FNaF 1, before Phone Guy dies, he says he's glad he recorded these messages when he did.
I'm kind of glad that I recorded my messages for you.
And then in FNaF
He didn't get to say the full sentence. He just cut him off.
Yeah, Matt Pat's so bored of listening to Phone Guy's calls at this point, he can't stomach it. 9.
Security guard training, part 1, the basics part 1. That's great.
Yep.
That's game designer Scott Cawthon telling us that one of the...
Oh, he's a game designer?
Scare, Mangle goes for the top of the head. And who got bit? Well,
Manglehead.
there isn't enough evidence to say definitively, but
Manglehead
your
goes at
most
auction for
candidate
$10,000.
is your favorite Jared.
That Manglehead.
Yeah.
To most theorists, it's fairly obvious the pre-1987 Freddy's is the same building as the FNaF 1 Freddy's, just reopened after the new and improved Freddy's failed. This is obvious in FNaF 2, as well as in FNaF 3, but MatPat takes a frustratingly long time to get to this information, after making multiple remarks that the first Freddy's is, quote, one we have yet to see in a game.
Why would a location 20 years later possess a safe room unless it was the same building?
There we
First
go.
Freddy Fazbear
We got there.
He got there.
That's why
There
it's
it is.
disrepair when we see
And
the
FNaF fans will continue asking for a game about that location.
Yeah,
for the rest
although
of the time.
it's convenient that he makes this argument just after he says that Foxy Go 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 must happen after FNaF 2 because it's in the FNaF 1 location.
for years, which only
Like,
Yeah,
if he made the...
kids from the Fox
Oh, okay,
Go
never
Go
mind
Go
then.
minigame. You can tell by the tables in the background and the design of both Bonnie and Chica that this is the FNaF 1 location. with
Personal
the
space,
golden
Charlie, come on
arms
now.
stage.
I mean, this
But
is a
it's
this
not
is a valid
flash
argument,
forward to the
actually.
game's next location, but rather a flash
Yeah, I mean, I remember it was a huge debate back in the old Wiki Forum days because, of course, they all looked like FNaF 1 animatronics, so before or after FNaF 2 was a big... Yeah.
We're interested in how this whole thing ends.
Well,
and
it's got
after
modded a
the
little
end,
bit
give
more,
us
but
the
oh
clear
well.
look. Eddie, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, Golden Freddy. When their powers combine, they
Molten
are
Freddy.
able to scare Purple Guy into
Oh,
the
wait, no,
golden
shit,
body
sorry, that-
state.
he didn't exist.
You jumped ahead a little bit.
Rushes him pretty
Yeah,
well
is that what you
to
had,
death, though notice we never actually see him die.
Character wasn't a thing.
Fade away.
We never actually see him die, sure.
Yeah.
I think it's that the eyes never go dark.
I mean, look how alive he looks. Look how
He doesn't say
alive.
that, but I think that's his point.
Wow, happy he is.
And take a bow. It's finally over.
It is. Great.
Yeah.
we might as well move on at this point, honestly.
Yes.
As briefly mentioned, the second half of the second part of this theory was split off into its own video because the Game Theorists temporarily couldn't upload more than 15-minute videos due to a channel strike. Which is fine, but awkward, because in this extra video, MatPat only argues for one single theory, and that is, you guessed it, the identity of the purple guy.
Oh, look at those hips, Matt.
Yo!
Oh, man.
Snatched.
Matt
For
being
free?
a girl boss.
I mean, I was tempted at the start, you know, that cringe opening with him no socks on. It's like, damn, Matt, for free? some people have to pay for that.
And no, not because I made a theory about it and refused to let it die.
No, it actually is
You
that.
sure?
Quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Does Phone Guy make the most logical sense because he's the only character in the series to have spoken lines at a time where the purple guy could have existed? Is that maybe your logic is this is like one of two characters who has ever spoken ever?
Why is the person who recorded the typing of this comment using the Mars flag as their profile picture? Yeah, wait, no, Matt, you can't have both. You can't say, and even the weird phone-like object on his hand from the Save Them minigame, when
You can't have your cake and eat it.
when you literally said earlier in the video that it's not a phone, it's
A
a
phone.
crank.
Yeah, but it looks like a phone. That's probably his argument, but it looks like a phone.
He's the only person in the game who knows about the safe rooms. As we've mentioned before,
Except
all
for
the safe
literally
rooms-
any of the Fazbear Entertainment employees who listen to those tapes. Like, does he think that Phone Guy recorded them for himself and then just, like, listened back to them?
The whole point was that he was giving it to other people, so other people
Yeah.
would know about it.
I
But
mean, if Phone Guy were an evil dick, that would be the thing he'd do. Now, we all know Purple Guy's Markiplier because he just wants to see if he can test his body using the spring suit, but he's not a masochist.
not a masochist.
Another part I had to cut, because it takes a million years to do it, was MatPat explaining that there's rain in the Follow Me minigames, and thus the Phone Guy, Purple Guy, even if he did know about the dangers of the Springlock suits because he recorded the tapes, he would have not accounted for the rain. I give this argument too much credit in retrospect. I treat it like it's the one fair thing he said. But it's a bad argument, because if the purple guy recorded those tapes, he would have known that moisture can loosen the locks, and saying he was just being hasty and forgot about it is an out-of-nowhere excuse.
I just like
bad.
But yeah, so he's, like, it's kind of a worthwhile point to make that the rain is a factor in whether the spring locks would snap, but then he immediately transitions that into, tape plus man equals true?
The big twist in FNAF 3 is the inclusion of a good
I have no
and
idea
bad
what
ending.
he's trying to
Completely
say here.
Normally you get what you play in FNAF 1, though, is the aftermath of the bad ending. With the
How?
Yeah, that I think he misunderstood what he was trying to get at there, because that contradicts everything he just said.
I do like the concept of I like the concept that Springtrap is just like rotting in the back room while you're working at FNAF 1. I think that's
Yeah.
a really interesting concept.
I
fucking wish it was true.
Yeah, I like what Bonnie Simulator did with it, where, like, you
Oh,
could
yeah.
play Springtrap coming down the right side.
Yeah, that was fucking amazing. That was so
There's
cool.
a game I've not heard in a long time.
One last interjection. I think after editing this, I get what MatPat was trying to say a bit more. He probably means that the bad ending is the conclusion to Follow Me, which happened before FNAF 1 in his timeline, whereas the good ending is the conclusion to FNAF 3's main gameplay. So in a sense, both happen. It's as if it's stating that FNAF 1 would have been a bad ending for the series. If this is what he means, it still leaves a million other problems, but I'm glad I understand it. And the confusion caused by his explanation makes this video well deserving of the ranking I give it.
Sidetracked!
Sidetracked.
Oh god. This was the beginning.
Yay!
This is the beginning of the insanity.
I love the implication that Steph was just recording the cat, and then suddenly
Yeah.
MatPat started
Yeah.
screaming.
She just wanted to record a cute cat video, and then her husband.
Oh no.
Womp womp.
What is our opinion on this whole thing? I think that I'm going to put every part individually on my tier list. I don't think that I need to keep them all in the same place.
Okay.
I think that the first one was severely weighed down by the first 5 minutes not containing any information. He was waffling a lot, and he talked about the shadow animatronics. And I don't think that he did a very good explanation of that. I think overall for this whole trilogy, the writing was really weak. The humor was really weak as well. The editing was like okay, I guess.
Yeah.
And the lore analysis was just bad, but in different quantities. I think first part was like really just shit. Okay,
Well,
yeah,
now
okay,
you can have Game Theory, FNAF, The Mystery Solved Part 2, Part 1, and Part 2, Part 2.
I would
Okay.
say, yeah, first part D tier, second part C tier, maybe even a low B tier because of how well he explained some concepts that are actually useful to understand. And this part, solid F tier. I would say that this meets all the requirements of F tier. There's like, the rain thing is kind of an okay thing to explain, but definitely not in this context. It is honestly worthless. Like, if you're trying to understand the lore, then you can fully skip this video. Thank you all so much for watching. It means a lot to me if you stuck around this long. Definitely give it a thumbs up if you want to see a part 2, and share it with a friend if you had fun with it. It really goes a long way.